Hi, I'm Brandy Aguilar. It's Friday, May 1st, 2009. In this week's Beaker Beat, some of the world's largest drug makers are lending a helping hand in the fight against the swine flu. See why some are working around the clock. Dendreon had quite a roller coaster ride on Wall Street. And could drinking tea help in the battle of the bulge? We'll have that and more in this week's edition of Beaker Beat. Some of the world's biggest drug makers are playing a major role in the fight against the swine flu. The number of people battling this type of flu is now almost 800 people worldwide, with the majority of the cases in Mexico, U.S., and Canada. Roche has been working closely with the World Health Organization to make its antiviral drug Tamiflu available to patients. They have reportedly donated 5 million packs of the treatment to the organization, including 3 million in a rapid response stockpile. GlaxoSmithKline is also boosting production of its antiviral drug Relenza. Their medication and Tamiflu are the only two approved drugs to which the new H1N1 strain of flu has been found to be susceptible. Earlier this week, the World Health Organization Director General called on the pharmaceutical industry to help in this critical time.
I have reached out to companies manufacturing antiviral drugs to assess capacity and all options for ramping up production. I have also reached out to influenza vaccine manufacturers that can contribute to the production of a pandemic vaccine. It really is all of humanity that is under threat during a pandemic. As I have said, we do not have all the answers right now, but we will get them.
Roche, Glaxo, Sanofi, Aventis, and Novartis are a few of the companies reportedly looking into making a swine flu vaccine. Sanofi CEO Chris Beaker did have some words of caution. In a recent news conference, he said, if vaccine makers switch gears to protect against a potential pandemic, that change could end up backfiring. That will be a very difficult choice. Clearly, if you make a swine flu vaccine and the pandemic doesn't actually occur, we could end up with no seasonal flu vaccine. The World Health Organization has said the situation is evolving rapidly, so vaccine talks are doing the same. Other manufacturers increasing production are two leading makers of respiratory masks. 3M and Kimberly-Clark Corp both said they're trying to keep up with the large amount of orders from pharmacies like Rite Aid and CVS. While both companies make a variety of masks, the one in demand is called N95 respirator. They are designed to filter out tiny particles which might contain bacteria and viruses. And the global health emergency put the new Health and Human Services Secretary right to work. The Senate confirmed the nomination of Kathleen Sebelius in a 65-31 vote on Tuesday. The former Kansas governor was quickly sworn into office. The federal government has been dealing with the swine flu outbreak without permanent leaders, not only at the HHS, but at two other agencies it oversees, the FDA and the CDC.
I have every confidence that given her experience as a governor who's managed crises before, who's worked on public health issues since she's been in public life, she is the right person at the right time for the job.
Sebelius filled the final open post in President Barack Obama's cabinet. The big buzz at the American Urological Association's annual meeting in Chicago this week was Dendreon's experimental treatment vaccine for prostate cancer. The Seattle-based biotech company revealed data that the vaccine known as Provenge prolonged the lives of advanced prostate cancer patients by more than 4 months. The news gave Dendreon shares quite a boost. In afternoon trading on Wednesday, the stock doubled to almost $26. This is a lot better than Tuesday's roller coaster ride. Dendreon shares hit a 52-week high of $25 when all of a sudden it went down $10 in about 30 seconds before trading was halted for news. While it did bounce back later that day, some market watchers were trying to figure out what caused the sudden plunge. One analyst thinks the decline may have been the result of erroneous trades. And while Provenge still needs to be approved by the FDA, some analysts have predicted annual sales of the drug at $2 billion. Sanofi Aventis' new CEO, Chris Beaker, is shaking things up after taking the top spot. In its first critical phase of R&D transformation, the French drug maker cut its pipeline by getting rid of 14 drugs from development, including 4 in stage 3 clinical trials. The fate of 4 others will be determined in the next couple of months. Sanofi's research team has been speeding up the process when it comes to assessing which drugs will reach the market to help offset sales lost to cheaper generics when patents expire. It now has 51 drugs in its portfolio, which includes 3 potential blockbusters to bring in big money. Beaker is also hoping to improve the pipeline by acquiring small to mid-sized pharmaceutical companies in the near future. These big changes are apparently not hurting the company. Sanofi shares rose more than 3%. Zymogenetics will hand out more than 160 pink slips as the company narrows its research and development efforts. The Seattle biotech company said it expects to save $30 million a year in operating expenses. Zymogenetics will also continue to market its blood clotting compound, but will focus all future research efforts in immunology, its core strength. In January, the company struck a potential blockbuster deal with Bristol Myers Squibb. The agreement could bring in about $1 billion or more in payments if its hepatitis C product reaches certain milestones. And rounding out Beaker Beat this week, could drinking white tea help in the fight against obesity? New research by a German health food company found that naturally occurring chemicals in white tea are capable of breaking down fat cells and preventing new ones from forming. Scientists tested extracts of white tea on laboratory-grown human fat cells and found that the fat levels were reduced. White tea has previously been linked to other health benefits, from stronger bones to lowering blood pressure and reducing the risk of some cancers. So the next time you go to the grocery store, you might want to make a trip down the tea aisle. And remember, to keep on top of all the latest news at Beaker, join our LinkedIn group or follow us on Twitter at username Chief Beaker. That's going to do it for this week. See you next Friday. I'm Brandy Aguilar with Beaker Beat.